It's a quiet Saturday evening in 1977. Families all across southern England are settling in to watch the nightly news. Everything is perfectly normal. Until suddenly, the television picture starts to flicker. The sound cuts out, replaced by a strange deep humming noise filling the speakers. And then, a voice breaks through. A calm, deep, and distinctly otherworldly voice. It claims to be Vrillon, a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command. For the next 6 minutes, millions of viewers are completely frozen, listening in shock. No one has ever seen or heard anything like it before. And to this day, it remains one of the most bizarre and mysterious broadcasts in television history. This is the story of the 1977 Southern Television Hijacking. The date was November 26, 1977. The time, exactly 5:10 p.m. Across southern England, people were tuned into Southern Television, one of the UK's major broadcasters, watching the early evening news report. Suddenly, the picture on their screens started to waver. Static began to crawl across the image, and the familiar voice of the news anchor was gone. In its place, this strange, distorted, almost robotic voice broke through the silence. It began with the words, "This is the voice of Vrillon, a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command." Imagine sitting in your living room, expecting to hear about local events, and instead, you hear that. No one knew what was happening. Was this some kind of elaborate prank? A sophisticated hack? A political statement? Or was it something far, far stranger? The voice continued to speak for nearly 6 minutes, delivering a message that was both urgent and surprisingly calm. It wasn't threatening, but it was a clear warning. The voice spoke about humanity's desperate need for peace and the extreme dangers of our violent tendencies. It called out world governments, urging them to take responsibility for the future of the planet. It also touched on the importance of spiritual awareness and warned about the destiny of our race and our world. Millions of people listened, and a chill ran down their spines. Some were immediately convinced they were hearing a genuine message from another world. Others began to panic, dialing emergency services. And many were just completely baffled, unable to process what they were hearing. But here's where the mystery gets even deeper. While this strange voice was speaking, the picture on the screen never changed. Viewers could still see the news anchor, Andrew Gardner, sitting at his desk, completely unaware that his audio had been replaced. Only the sound was hijacked. In 1977, pulling something like this off was technologically astounding and incredibly difficult. So, how is it even possible? In the 1970s, hijacking a major television broadcast was considered next to impossible. This was long before the internet, before digital software exploits, before any of the hacking tools we know today. Broadcasting was entirely analog, which meant it relied on physical equipment and powerful radio signals. Experts who analyzed the event later explained that there was really only one way it could have been done. Someone would have needed a very high-powered radio transmitter. And not just that, they would have needed to position that transmitter extremely close to one of the main broadcast towers that was relaying the signal from the studio. This is called pirate broadcasting, where a stronger signal overpowers the official one. It's like shouting louder than the person next to you. But even knowing the theory, the execution was masterful. The authorities launched a full-scale investigation. They scoured the areas around the broadcast towers, looking for any sign of a rogue transmitter, a van, anything out of the ordinary. But they found nothing. No equipment was ever recovered. No suspects were ever arrested. Not a single person or organization, not even a prankster group, ever came forward to claim responsibility. The UK government's investigation hit a dead end, and officially, the entire event remains completely unexplained. The public reaction was immediate and chaotic. Phone lines at police stations, news outlets, and government offices were flooded with calls. People were a mixture of terrified, fascinated, and utterly confused. Some truly believed they had experienced first contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence. Others dismissed it as a clever student prank or a protest from some political group. The next day, newspapers across the country exploded with sensational headlines. Alleged alien voice interrupts TV broadcast. Millions hear Space Command on TV. And hoax OR contact? The story quickly went international, spreading far beyond the UK. In the United States, it became a legendary case in UFO circles, and people in online forums still discuss it with fascination today. But perhaps the strangest part of it all was the message itself. It wasn't hostile. It didn't incite panic or chaos. It was a calm, almost spiritual call for peace and unity. This made a lot of people question the prank theory. If this was just a joke, why deliver such a thoughtful and philosophical message? Why go to all that trouble for a peaceful sermon? And so, the mystery deepens. Nearly 50 years have passed, and we are no closer to knowing the truth. Who hijacked the Southern Television broadcast? How did they manage to do it with such technical precision? Why did the voice sound so unusual, with its slow, deep, and electronically altered tone? And how did they maintain control of the audio signal for a full 6 minutes without being traced or stopped? The audio quality was remarkably clear, and the tone of the voice was eerily steady. Experts noted that it didn't match any known type of radio modulation used at the time. This has led to endless speculation. Some researchers still hold to the theory that it was a brilliant engineering student or a group of university pranksters with access to specialized equipment. Others suggest it might have been a political activist group trying to spread an anti-war message. And then there are those who believe it was something else entirely, something not of this world. But without a confession, without any physical evidence, all we have are theories. After all this time, not a single shred of proof has ever surfaced to solve the puzzle. The 1977 Southern Television Hijacking stands as one of the world's most famous and unsettling broadcast intrusions. It has a major unsolved case in the history of communication technology, and a moment that is still passionately debated by UFO researchers and skeptics alike. It serves as a stark reminder of how fragile our technology once was, and it's a chilling example of how a single, mysterious voice could reach out and shock millions of people in their own homes. Whether it was a masterful prank by a genius engineer, a political statement from a hidden group, or something truly beyond our understanding, one thing is absolutely certain. On that November night in 1977, someone or something spoke directly to the public through their televisions. And we still have no idea who it was. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Civic Mind Facts for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.